I'm back with another beauty video, and today I'm gonna go over everything I got during the Sephora sale and do a little mini review of each product. I'll be real, I did not maintain the semi-minimal approach to the Sephora sale like I said I was going to. It's been a shit month, and sometimes, you know, you just gotta get a little retail therapy to give you a boost of happiness. Pretty happy with everything I ended up with. I did end up returning a few products that were fails, and I'll talk about them in this video, so let's get into it. First up, I did end up purchasing my beloved Living Proof Full Shampoo and Conditioner. You can see I'm almost out of these. I'm gonna have to cut the bottles open to get every last drop out. Super pumped to say that Living Proof is sponsoring this portion of the video. They wanted me to let you know that if you wanna try the brand and you're not sure where to start, you can go to their website and you can take their new hair quiz. So you take the quiz on the website, and based on your hair type and texture and what you're looking for, they will give you the results and match you to a product. For me, it was a no-brainer. I have really thin, really limp hair, so the full shampoo and conditioner line is a perfect match for me, as well as like their texturizing spray and their dry shampoo. So I'll leave a link in the description box where you can take that hair quiz and get started on the best Living Proof products for your hair. For me, the full shampoo and conditioner are just can't live without products. I have backups of these. I have travel sizes of these because I don't want to travel without them. And there are a couple reasons why I love the shampoo and conditioner so much. So first of all, the smell is really nice. It's subtle, but it's fresh and clean. But most surprisingly, I actually saw visible results over the course of 5 uses. And I'll leave a link to my Instagram reel below where I show all the footage. And actually, maybe I'll put some clips right here. But what you can see is that over the course of about 5 days using exclusively the Living Proof Full Shampoo and Conditioner, my hair got progressively shinier, bouncier, and healthier looking. If you bleach your hair, you know how hard it is. Normally your hair is like very dull, doesn't have a lot of shine to it because of the damage that's done from the bleach. And so I was not expecting to see my hair do such a transformation in just a few days. Something else I wasn't expecting. I noticed as I was using the shampoo and conditioner that my hair was clinging to my neck less. If you have really thin hair, you know that a lot of times your hair will just kind of like stick to your face and it will be really staticky. When I looked into it, I actually found that this line has anti-static ingredients, so that was a bonus that I really wasn't expecting. A lot of other shampoo and conditioners that make your hair look healthy also simultaneously really weigh it down and can make fine hair really limp, really thin looking. But these don't do that. My hair still looks bouncy, but it just looks healthier. And that's really what I'm going for. So obviously it was just a no-brainer for me to purchase these during the Sephora sale. I really don't want to live without them. So if you're interested in taking Living Proof's AI hair quiz, I'll leave a link in the description box below. And the next item that I purchased is also going to be no surprise. Ugh. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. No regrets. None. The Dyson hairdryer it's so quiet, it's so powerful, it cuts down on my dry time. I like the way it looks. It has so many attachments, they're really easy to take off and put on. It's just like magnet. So easy. Yes, this is ridiculously expensive, but you guys saw what my old hairdryer looked like, and so it was time for a serious upgrade. For all the products that are just backups, I'm gonna run through them super quickly so we can get into the new items. First up, I repurchased the Moroccan Oil Dry Shampoo in light tones. Love this. Smells really subtle but fresh and clean. I love the Moroccan Oil scent. It doesn't leave too bad of a white cast on my hair, although I would say the only dry shampoos that truly don't leave a residue in my hair are powder ones. But this is my favorite aerosol dry shampoo, and it's relatively affordable. I also picked up 2 travel size dry shampoos so that I could bring them with me when I go on vacation. And I bought a travel size of their luminous hairspray. This had really bad reviews on Sephora, but I didn't have any issues with it. It held my hair in just fine. I wore it at Coachella and my hair held all night pretty well. So gotta say, I think this is a really good option. I love that this comes in a travel size. I hate having to bring like a huge hairspray can on vacation. So this was a good one. And now I just have 4 skincare backups. The Laneige Cream Skin Toner. I just ran out of mine, so I got a backup just in time. This is essentially a liquid moisturizer, so I love using this on my dry ass face. I think if you have normal to oily skin, you could even probably just use this as a liquid moisturizer. in the summertime when it's really hot and humid, and that would probably be a perfect option for oily skin. So I think it's a really wonderful texture. It's just this kind of like milky toner that leaves your skin feeling really moisturized and silky, and it's just an essential in my nighttime routine. I do prefer this over the mist, even though I like that the mist is easier to apply, it just gets everywhere faster. I do find that the mist stings my eyes a little bit, whereas when I use the toner, I just put some drops in my hand and pat it everywhere. So I prefer the Cream Skin toner over the mist, but really they're interchangeable. I had been missing the Pharmacy Honey Halo Ceramide Cream from my collection for a while because I was holding out for the Sephora sale. This is the jumbo size. I think it's either $65 or $68 normally, so good to get it during the sale. I love this cream. It has a very, very faint honey scent, so heads up if you don't like that, but I believe it's like a naturally occurring scent, so I personally didn't find any irritation with this ever. In fact, I find it very soothing, nourishing. This never stings my face, even when I'm sensitized. My skin loves ceramides, and that really helps with barrier repair, which is essential for me, having a very sensitive skin. So love this, had to get it. All right, I didn't mean to end up with 2 of the Tatcha Serum and Cream treatments, but I did. I bought one during the sale because I was almost out of my current jar. And then I went to Coachella and realized I forgot it. And I truly cannot live without it. It is like my perfect multitasker. So I went to Sephora in Palm Springs on our way there, and I picked up another jar so I could have it with me on my trip. This is my perfect product to use when I'm super lazy, or if you're at a festival, you've had a few drinks, you're a little tired, you just wanna, wash your face, swipe on one product and go to bed. This is the perfect one because it's so soothing and calming, so deeply hydrating, and also very moisturizing and occlusive. So it's kind of like using like a soothing serum, a hydrating serum, a moisturizer, and a balm all in one. That's why Jonathan, why you texting me? That's why I'm not sad at all that I have 2 backups. I run through these really quickly, and this is a like top 3 skincare product for me. I just can't live without it. Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff. I actually ended up with quite a few makeup items. I don't think I've ever had so many people tell me that I needed to buy something more than the Pat McGrath Blush in Flirtatious. This formula is amazing. It really is so skin-like for a powder. It's sheer but buildable. It just looks beautiful on the skin. It's a wonderful powder formula. I think all the shades are really thoughtful. There's a range of kind of like pinks and peaches and then bright corals, and I think that's really well done. The only thing I noticed about Flirtatious is I applied this only an hour ago, and I feel like the blush faded pretty fast. So this obviously is a very, very light shade. I'm sure that the other colors would be a little more pigmented and last longer, but I like that Flirtatious is very light and very sheer. It's just a barely there wash of color, and I'll zoom you in and apply some more. You really can layer up your brush quite a bit with this. And it's just this very, very light rose. I think there might also be a little bit of some kind of sheen to it. It almost occasionally looks nearly like a light pink shimmer, but I can't see any shimmer in the pan or on my skin. There's just like some kind of really beautiful, cool toned shift or sheen coming through. That's so nice. So that's what Flirtatious looks like on my cheeks. I think if your skin's any darker than mine, then you probably would want to go for one of the other shades. But if you're like super, super fair to light like I am, I'm probably like in between fair and light, then I think it's a really great shade. I'm very, very happy I purchased this. So with my second Sephora order, I ended up buying a ton of concealers. I think I bought like 5 concealers and a couple shades from each. However, one day we had to go to this 1-year-old's birthday party in Folsom, California, and just so happens on our way there, I realized there's a huge Sephora in Folsom. So I popped on in and I saw that they actually had all of the concealers that I had ordered. I ordered the One Size Concealer in 2 shades. I ordered the Lawless Concealer in 2 shades. You already know this, but I ordered the Dior Backstage Concealer, and I ordered the Kat Von D Good Apple Concealer. But when I went to the Sephora in Folsom, I was able to swatch all of the shades I ordered and realized that none of them matched me. So I did end up returning all of those concealers without opening them, because if you open the products, they just go in the trash, and I didn't want to create a lot of waste. I knew it just wouldn't even be worth me trying them. And I also realized that none of those shade ranges had a match for me, not the Kat Von D, the Lawless, the One Size, and then the Dior Backstage Concealer. As you know, if you watched a couple videos ago, I actually got a chemical burn from that concealer. It's so heavily fragranced, like really intense floral perfume. You can still smell it under your eyes even after like several minutes. So I ended up with a week-long burn under my eyes. That was a terrible experience. Incredible formula though. But when I was at that Sephora in Folsom, at the store, I ended up realizing that this is my perfect shade match. It's the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer in 1CR, which is one cool rosy. It has a kind of bigger applicator, and I'll show you what it looks like on the back of my hand. I think you can see that this does not look too yellow, but it also doesn't look pink. This to me looks neutral on my skin, but it's not. It's actually cool toned. And so that's why I really do think that I have cool undertones. Really, really blendable formula. It's, on me, I would say it's about a medium coverage. I have this strategically dotted around my face instead of foundation today, and I have a little bit under my eyes as an under eye concealer. But here's the thing. While I'm so excited that I can finally use a concealer that's from Sephora on camera, you know, I know that Fit Glow is my favorite under eye concealer. It's really the only one I ever want to reach for, but it's expensive and it's not super accessible. The problem is this just does not look great under my eyes. So I have a little bit of regrets about this. I think maybe I'll continue using it on camera just like in place of foundation, but as an under eye concealer, this to me creases like a bitch. It is so slip slidey that I blend it under my eyes. I'll just keep my blender just in one place, tap, tap, tap under my eyes so that it doesn't like spread everywhere. And no matter what I do, the coverage just spreads, it blends out, and it's almost as if it's so slippery, it doesn't even fill in any of my under eye lines. For example, the Fit Glow concealer, the reason I like that it's a little tacky and a little sticky is because it kind of fills in my fine lines under my eyes and it stays in them. So I find that it really doesn't crease. It looks really blurring under the eyes, especially for a full coverage concealer. But this one, while it looks incredible at first, I find that if I move my face a little bit, which you do because we make expressions, it just slides everywhere. And so unfortunately for me, this just does not work as an under eye concealer, but I do love it all over my face in the same way I use my ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer because it is a perfect match for my face. And because it's super blendable, it's great if you want to spread it all over your face like I do. So as an under eye concealer, I don't like this, but as kind of like a foundation replacement, I actually think it's perfect and I'm excited to have it. Another complexion product, I ended up getting the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer in the shade Light. I'm wearing this all over my face today. It really does warm up the skin. It's a tad peachier than I would have liked. Would have been great if this had slightly more like red tones. That's just the color of sunburn that I naturally flush. But it's so light that I think it looks really natural on me despite being relatively orange. I put it all over my face for you on camera today, and I really love that it's so sheer and so light. I can really build it up and it never looks muddy or overdone on me. It just looks, no matter what, like that lit from within kind of bronze. So I'm really glad that I found a great replacement for my Physicians Formula bronzer that got reformulated. And I think that having a bronzer that is close to your skin tone is the best way to get that more natural effect. Hopefully you can see that even with a heavy hand, it still looks really nice. The last sort of complexion product I got was the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Setting Spray. I had applied some makeup that day and I used the Say Air Set powder and I realized that I had accidentally overpowdered my face. I was getting a little bit of dryness and that kind of tight feeling. And I realized, you know what? It would be really great to have a little makeup refresher so that if I accidentally overpowder, I can just spritz it on and make my skin look a little bit more natural again. I'll show you what it looks like. Has a really nice mist. And what I like about it is it doesn't have alcohol, so it doesn't feel drying, but it also doesn't leave a really dewy finish on the face. Like the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Mist or whatever that's called, that leaves my face looking hella oily. But this just really adds a nice little spritz to your face that feels refreshing, makes your skin look less powdery, and doesn't affect the texture of your makeup. Before I get into the lip products, I'm gonna tell you about 2 perfumes that I fell head over heels in love with. First, oh my God, this is Skylar's Coconut Cove. This is a roller ball, which I love. This is a little travel size, and the notes are bergamot, coconut, and ambrox. The description says, this is a fragrance that transports your spirit to an exotic locale. The notes of creamy coconut mingle with blooms of jasmine and gardenia for an intoxicating yet tranquil blend. Coconut Cove is a calming yet sensual perfume to inspire you to chart your own path. Okay, whatever. But what I smell, yeah, very coconut heavy, but I can smell the bergamot, so it's kind of fresh. I can smell the flowers, but it's not heavily floral. I don't like very floral perfumes. It's just such a fresh coconut. It's really grounded. It's not a super sickeningly sweet or very young kind of coconut scent, not like a Bath and Body Works or like a Victoria's Secret kind of coconut. It just is really, really simple, really fresh, and just highlights coconut in a way that feels really approachable and somewhat sophisticated. I just really, really love this. I cannot stop wearing it. I also find that this is great for layering. So with any of my sort of sunscreeny scents, like Replica Beach Walk, Tom Ford, Soleil Blanc, if I want to add more of a coconut note to those beachy scents, I'll just add a pop of this, and it's so good for layering. The next fragrance I fell in love with is Clean Reserve Skin. And this is unlike anything I've ever smelled. I'll read you the description. The keynotes are fresh musk, copaiba oil, and salted praline. The description says, this is the signature scent you've been looking for. Creamy Madagascar vanilla offers a soft and subtle sweetness to the cozy, close to the skin musk, creating the perfect everyday perfume. Wear this scent alone or layer with other Clean Reserve perfumes to add warmth and a kiss of sweetness. It's so hard for me to describe this. I definitely smell the vanilla, and it's very musky. Like, it definitely smells like skin. And I guess that salted praline comes through, like that salt element definitely adds more of like a skin-like nature to it. Yeah, and the praline adds something nutty. It's very difficult to describe. And I know a lot of people who've fallen in love with this too, both before me or who went out and bought it because I had posted about it on Instagram. And every single person said that they can't really describe it either. It's special. So I do know that Clean Reserve makes like a little sample set. So if you wanted to try this with some of their others, you can try that. It's so unique, and it's also so simple. I actually sometimes like to mix the two. So I add a little bit of a coconut into this one, and both of these are just so fantastic for layering. And I think that they're also relatively simple so that a lot of people could like them and kind of make them a little bit more customizable. So really blown away that I found 2 more signature scents. And in one of my upcoming videos, I received the Ellis Brooklyn scent diary from a friend, fell in love with 2 or 3 Ellis Brooklyn scents from that. So I'm like in a real fragrance kick right now. All right, I purchased 4 lipsticks, and then I'll tell you everything that I ended up returning. So by far my favorite, a holy grail lip product for me now that I've been wearing in the video, is the NARS Soft Matte Lip Balm in Brief Encounter. I've been trying to find my perfect brown lipstick because as I've been filming content recently, I realized all of my brown lip products were all lip glosses or Fit Glow lip serums. This is exactly what I've been looking for. I love how matte the formula is in that it just makes the lips look really full and really smooth, but it feels like Vaseline. When you rub your lips together, it's thin, and it feels comfortable, like just like a little bit of like a slippery, kind of balmy Vaseline product. It's basically everything I wanted the Glossier Generation G lipsticks to be. So comfortable, so flattering on the lips. I love that the shade range is just a bunch of different browns and like riffs on browns. Subtle vanilla scent, the comfortable formula, the appearance of the way it looks on the lips and how it wears, the shades, this one in particular, that kind of medium peachy brown of Brief Encounter, the vanilla scent. This is just everything that I've been looking for in a lipstick. I think I'm blown away by this, and I'm definitely gonna pick up more shades. Love, love, love. My friends also encouraged me to pick up the Merit lipstick in the shade Slip, which is definitely lighter than NARS Brief Encounter, and much more of a sort of sheer glossy formula. So this is Merit Slip, and I feel like it's more of a yellow brown, whereas Brief Encounter was more of like a peachy brown, reddish peachy brown. This is definitely more yellow. Definitely not the kind of lipstick I can wear with like no other makeup on. This is unlike any other color I've ever owned in my collection. The Merit lip formula is sheer. It's definitely more glossy. It's unscented, but you can kind of just smell a little bit of like a crayon scent, if you know what I mean, in terms of like unscented lip products, what they smell like. But I find this really comfortable. Feels beautifully balmy. I also really like the packaging. When I first saw the pictures of the Merit lipsticks, I thought it looked a lot like the Maybelline Sensational lipsticks, which look and feel pretty cheap, but this actually is really weighted, especially the gold bullet, but the plastic part is also really nice and thick, so it feels more luxurious than I was expecting, which is great. So between Slip and Brief Encounter, I am thrilled. But I wanted to take it a step further. What I was most interested in was Merit's lipstick in 1990, but I couldn't find it in any Sephora store I went to. So I picked up the shade L'Avenue. So L'Avenue is described as a berry brown. It's definitely a little bit patchier, or maybe it's just more so that the Merit lip formula is so kind of like sheer and balmy that you can really see the pigment kind of settling into lines. So I do like to just take my finger and kind of like blend it into the lip lines a little bit, but I think it's a really cool shade. It's definitely outside my comfort zone, but I'm really looking to push myself with makeup in the upcoming months. I want to do more rhinestones, more bright colors, different colored lipsticks, and really step outside my normal makeup routine. And so I'm really excited to have this one in my collection. I would still be interested in 1990. I think that was more of what I was going for, but this is like a vampy color, certainly one that I don't already own. The last lipstick I bought actually was the Rose Ink lipstick in the shade Enigmatic. And for some reason, this was the only product in my makeup collection to get super dirty when I was traveling. Something about this packaging really attracts dirt and grime, I don't know. And it also feels really flimsy, like it has that magnetic closure, but it feels like very thin, very cheap plastic, much like the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss bombs. But the formula itself is really lovely. It's a beautiful opaque satin finish. So as you can see in the application footage, this is much more of a stiffer formula. You can see it really kind of dragging along my lips, whereas the NARS Soft Matte Lip Balm and the Merit have a lot of emollients to them. They're a little bit, I wouldn't say slippery. They're very, very, very comfortable and they don't slide around the lip lines. This is more of like a traditional lipstick to me. And also the bullet is square. So I know a lot of people didn't like that, but I thought it was kind of nice because I have a very sharp Cupid's bow. So it is kind of helpful for me to have a square edge where I can get a really sharp line. All in all, I think this is a really nice opaque satin lipstick formula. I just don't like the packaging because it's so flimsy, and also the scent is a tiny bit off-putting. It's described as a rose vanilla scent. That floral note in there throws me off. I don't like anything floral near my mouth, but the vanilla is much, much more prominent. But if you're sensitive to scents like I am, just a heads up, you can smell the rose in it, but it's not the most offensive. It's not like a Gucci lipstick or an Armani lipstick that are super like heavily floral perfume. This is just like vanilla mixed with rose water. All four of those have really impressed me. They're all just really beautiful, thoughtful shades with really great formulas that are very comfortable. So lastly, we have to talk about everything I ended up returning. Now, I already told you about the concealers I returned. So the Lawless, first of all, the Lawless Concealer shade range, bonkers. It skews so heavily white. I, as someone with this color skin, would have to purchase a medium shade in order to find my shade match. So that's not good. So I returned the Lawless Concealer. I returned the one size concealers because I tried the sample pack, didn't like the formula, so I didn't want to waste those. I returned the Kat Von D Good Apple Concealer because there wasn't a shade match for me in that. And then I didn't realize this until a follower told me, but I actually ended up buying a mini size of that Huda Beauty Glowish bronzer. I thought the shade Tan Light was their light shade, but it's actually their shade for tan skin that's just lighter than the other shade. So sadly, they didn't make my shade match in the mini size, which is what I wanted. So I returned that one without opening it either because I didn't want it to just go in the trash. I went to Sephora, I swatched the shade match for me in the Glowish range. I thought it was really beautiful, but I just figured since I already have my Makeup by Mario now, I don't really need 2 bronzers. You already know I returned the Dior Backstage Concealer. That one I did end up trying and I got a chemical burn from it. And the last product I returned was the Tropez Gradual Tan Watermelon Daily Firming Lotion. Holy shit. This is the worst smelling product I've ever tried. Listen, I'm a Tropez fan, love their products, love their, 4-hour express tanning mousse. I've loved their unscented gradual tanning lotions. I think they make great products. You would think that a product called the Watermelon Gradual Tanning Lotion would smell like watermelon. Pretty good assumption, right? No, it smells like the most intense, floral, cheap perfume. I put it on in the bathroom, which is all the way down this long ass hall. And John was in bed right behind me. And he could smell it from the bedroom without me having even walked all the way in here. And first it started out, he was like, whoa, like, that's really intense. And I was like, yeah, oof. I'm like, hopefully it'll die down. It didn't. And we were sitting in bed and neither of us could fall asleep because our noses were burning. Like literally a burning sensation in our nose because the fragrance was so strong, just in the Gradual Tan Lotion. I ended up having to get out of bed and go take another shower and wash it off. Still couldn't get the fragrance off of me the next day after the second shower. Had to wash all of our sheets and bedding and everything. It was fucking horrendous. So the next video I have coming up is another new stuff video, which is all PR I've gotten recently and friend mail. So my friend sent me the Ellis Brooklyn scent diary. I have the Auric Glow Lust. I have the Dior lip oil. I have some really exciting stuff that my friends just didn't want anymore. And so they sent it to me, which is really great. That's my next one. And then after that, I'm gonna do a favorites video, really just doing a roundup since I've tried a lot of new stuff lately, just updating you on the things that I can't stop reaching for. So be on the lookout for those. And if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.